welcome. This is Obi-Wan. I'm just gonna, I won't talk a whole lot, but I just kind of wanted to give an idea of what I think of the game so far. I definitely don't think it's as bad as some people, but my experience hasn't been as bad as some. I've had very few glitches, just a few, very few server disconnects in 125 hours or so. But then again, I've been progressing slowly because I explore. Some days I just play to craft adhesive or get lead or whatever. And I don't think the game's anywhere near as bad as what some people say. And, well, there wouldn't be as many people playing it as there is if it was that bad. Now, I do want to say, though, that if you're someone who's been at, if you were level 125 before the first beta week ended, then those people have run into more problems because they're going to higher level areas. There's more going on, like at White Spring. If there's a 4 scorched beasts and a nuclear bomb coming in, there are issues, and I understand that. Me, I haven't had very many. I spend a lot of my time scrapping, modifying, repairing items. Pretty sure everything's okay right now. And I do want to say that my favorite weapon is this guy right here. And I finally got a level 35 one. The one I was using for so long was level 10. And this one definitely is better, has a higher damage rate, and it comes so in handy when you get 7 or 8 scorched or ghouls or whatever attacking you. It works pretty good on some super mutants. I did find out it doesn't work very good on a Deathclaw, especially when there's 2 Yaogoi right there. So, anyways. This is my camp. I've got water purifiers. I really have not had an issue with having enough water since the early part of the game. And at my camp, most of the water purifiers are locked so that somebody else can't get in them, but a couple of them aren't. I figure if somebody comes by, they need some water, or if they're nice and don't destroy my camp, hey, have at it. I have my multi-fruit, my corn, and my potatoes to make my adhesive. And yes, I had to spend the caps to get the little scarecrows. I thought that was pretty cool. I spent some caps yesterday on a plan for a fountain and didn't realize it was going to be the big huge thing it was, so I was kind of disappointed in that. I thought it was just going to be a little fountain. So you can see my camp. I moved my camp finally last week. It had been pretty much in the same spot the whole time until last week or maybe 2 weeks ago now, I can't remember. Whenever the date when they fixed the thing where if your camp was placed where somebody else was, you would lose it. I didn't move it till after that. And the thing I like about this location is it's fairly close to a spawning location for power armor, which I finally now have a decent set of power armor that's all repaired, ready to go. I don't wear my power armor a lot yet because I don't really need to, because I very seldom go into areas where there's high level enemies. I haven't done most of that yet, and that, like I say, that probably has some reason to do why I don't have so many issues with the game. This little shack over here always has, or almost always has, a set of power armor, and there's still I think one piece I need to have it the set all match with T60 somethings. Can't remember now. And this entrance is booby trapped a lot. And you can see it right now.
The food processing machines at Mama Dolce's have finally cooled down enough to work again. I've set them up to make cans of stew using the ingredient container spread around the factory. The machines make a hell of a racket, so you'll probably get some unwanted.
And sometimes there's like a grenade thing. Oop, I'm being shot at by something here. Oh, not gonna worry about that right now. Let's see if there's a power armor. Oh, there is. What do we got here? T51. Don't really need any of that. And I will take the fusion core. And I'll take this stuff here and just scrap it. Apparently at first you would get materials for scrapping the power armor shells, but I guess you don't anymore, so I don't even bother anymore. And this little room always has oh, just a few little things to scrap. There's usually if nobody's been in here, there's usually some plastic over here, which I found plastic's really important in this game. Yeah, usually there's some bottles right here, but they're not here this time. You know, you never know for sure. So, let's, you know what, this thing even works on these guys pretty good, so. There we go, some lead scrap, yeah. And there's usually a fusion core right here. Death fan. Don't ever pass up a death fan. Dog and cat bowls, plastic. I've noticed sometimes glass doesn't scrap when you tell it to scrap all junk. So anyways, this is one of the places I'll go every day. I don't really need a whole lot of steel. I probably have too much, but sometimes I bulk it and sell it. Now I know that the power arbor frames actually if that's all you're wearing, can come in handy. But the problem with that is if you got one of these on and you don't have the helmet for it, you don't have your light, you know. But come on. And sometimes I'll go ahead and pick these multi-fruits that are kind of on the way to and from this little area when I go here, because, yeah, it just sometimes helps me have enough to make a little more adhesive. And another good place I've found for plastic is the Morgantown High School. The gymnasium has all kinds of plastic pumpkins and other like plastic plates. There's a table with probably 12 plastic plates, which comes in handy. And if you need lead, someplace I don't see mentioned very often, right here, the Charleston Fire Department. When you go in there, there's like a little weight room, locker room place, and there's a whole bunch of weights for working out, barbells and that kind of thing. Sometimes you can get 300-400 pounds of lead weights that you can scrap down into lead for making bullets or whatever. And yes, I try to always check all mailboxes. Usually it's just a little piece of scrap, but every now and then you get something good. Here's one. Oh, the ski sword. And of course I modified it with the spikes, which makes it even better. Now, I'm not 100% sure I've ever actually been up here. Sometimes going up someplace like this, you'll be rewarded with some good stuff, and other times, you know, nothing. Gee, we have a gas canister, and yeah, something I just found out, tin cans, yeah, they have lead. Because I make my own bullets, so I was bypassing those a lot till I found out they have lead. And buttercup pieces have, giddy up buttercup pieces, or whatever it's called, have springs, I do believe. Now where my camp is, I have gotten in a couple of super mutants come through, occasional Protectron ghoul, but really no, not a lot of attacks where I put my camp, which is nice. Oh, speaking of adhesive, let's go ahead and make some. One thing I did find out is I was putting a lot of plants down, and I didn't realize how much of your base building budget that they take up. It's a lot. So I kind of cut back on how many I have, and I believe at this moment I could still build some more if I really wanted to, but I'm happy with my little shack. It's not a big fancy place, but really, how often do you spend much time here? I just come here to build things, scrap things, regroup. And I probably will need some water to boil to make my adhesive. Didn't get a whole lot that time, but I had just done that yesterday. I was just kind of showing how that can be done, because there's still a lot of people just start playing this game and they don't realize that you can make your own adhesive. Sometimes I do like to break things down, like, okay, the Giddy Up Buttercup front leg, bam, 2 gears, steel, and 2 springs, so don't pass up the Giddy Up Buttercup parts. And like I said, tin cans, lead. And as you can see, I did scrap all just now, and for some reason beer bottles don't like to scrap. And, you know, since basically the whole point of this little short broadcast was to kind of describe my feelings for the game so far, I do want to say that for the most part I have pretty much played the game solo. I was at White Spring one day and another person was there, and we both brought down a Scorched Beast, the only one I've helped bring down since I've been playing the game. Like I said, I haven't really done much of that stuff yet. But I do know that at some point I am going to have to team up with somebody if I really want to get past some of the major elements in the game, because let's be honest, there's some of those things you just need help. See, the occasional super mutant comes to my thing, but they're usually quite weak, like that one was. And as you can see, I tell you one thing I would give. I know it's in the game somewhere, but I think you have to really pay a lot for it. I would love to have the neon lettering, so I could have a little thing here, you know, free water or whatever. Because like I say, one or two of them are not locked. That one is. That one is. That one isn't. That one isn't. Yeah, so maybe I don't have as many locked as I thought I did. But, you know, not that many people will come take any, and I don't care if they do. Because I always seem to have enough purified water. But like I say, so that's just kind of a little short broadcast of how I feel about the game so far. My first time playing a Fallout game was Fallout 3. A friend of mine at work told me to buy it, so I went out and bought it, and I started playing it, and, you know, the whole first part in the vault, I was like, okay. And I went to work, and my friend said, so what'd you think? And I said, well, it's okay. He said, well, where are you at? And I said, oh, I'm in the vault, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, wait till you come out of the vault. And I was hooked on Fallout the minute I walked out of that vault. We had this big open world to go to, and New Vegas was good. I enjoyed Fallout 4. I enjoyed the settlement building part that a lot of people didn't. And, you know, I learned to become very rich in that game very quickly with water farms. Now, in this game, you can't really get rich selling water and stuff because the vendors don't give you very much. And it's hard, you know. In Fallout 4, I had maybe 7 settlements with water producing, so you could get a lot of water and go sell it and buy ammo or whatever. So, there we go. That's just a little short broadcast to talk about my feelings for the game so far. I look forward to improvements. I look forward to new things. But like I say, I still have a long way to go with what they have in this one, because I've been slow. You can see I had about 2,000 caps a couple days ago, but I did buy a couple things. But you can see I'm level 41, and there's still a good chunk of the map that I haven't explored. I have finally started getting over into this area. From here down to here, I ran into a lot of scorched beasts, and I wasn't ready for them. This area, the Harper's Ferry area, so far hasn't been real bad, although I did see a Deathclaw over in this area somewhere that I just avoided that day. Didn't feel like messing with it. I did get down into here a little bit, and I got thoroughly destroyed by, I think there was scorched beasts and some other things down there. This area of the map I've been in, boy, I don't like those little mole miner guys, especially when I was lower level. When I first ran into one right around in here, he didn't want to go away. And there was a couple in here that were pretty tough on me. Now, I haven't actually been back to this area for probably 25 levels, so maybe it wouldn't be as tough now. You know, and I do have to go back in there one of these days. And this little area here, the Camden Park, just discovered that yesterday. I mean, that little thing was on the map, the picture, and I just hadn't been over there. I hadn't gone from here to here, and I was like, oh, look, let's go over there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course, this area, I've been to quite a bit. There's a power armor that spawns here. And this is where my camp used to be, right about here. I did sign in twice where somebody was there. Once was before they fixed the thing to where it would your camp would disappear, and the other was after. And it just told me, hey, somebody's there, so I went to a different server. So, anyways, that's just my opinion of the game so far. Have a good day. This is Obi-Wan saying goodbye.